He conquered the known world before he was 32, yet he struggled to navigate his own ego and biological limits. Born in 356 BC in Macedonia, he was the son of King Philip II. Philip had built a formidable regional power, but his son was already looking past the kingdom's borders. His upbringing was a volatile mix of extremes. He was trained to fight and ride by strict military tutors, while his mind was sharpened in logic, art, and philosophy by Aristotle himself. At just 10 years old, when nobody else could control a massive, terrified horse, he stepped forward. He spoke softly, turned the animal towards the sun to hide its shadow, and rode it. That horse, Bucephalus, would carry him into countless battles. Watching this display of confidence, King Philip told him, "My son, seek a kingdom worthy of yourself. Macedonia is too small for you." This combination of martial skill, cold logic, and an unshakable belief in his own destiny forged him into a living weapon. In 336 BC, King Philip was suddenly assassinated by his own bodyguard. At 20 years old, Alexander seized the Macedonian throne. To secure that power, he acted without hesitation. He systematically hunted down and executed his political rivals, including members of his own family. When the Greek city-state of Thebes rebelled, he marched in with 3,000 soldiers and leveled the entire city. It was a calculated psychological strike designed to freeze any other thoughts of uprising across Greece. This map shows the boundary separating the Greek world from the massive territory of the Asian empires. In 334 BC, Alexander crossed this line with an army of 40,000 men, heading straight into Persia. At the Battle of Granicus River, he didn't direct his troops from the safety of a hill. He charged directly into the water, fighting in the mud and engaging in brutal close-quarters combat. A Persian soldier nearly killed him with an axe, but he survived and won. Leading from the front earned him the absolute loyalty of his men. But surviving those impossible odds planted a dangerous idea in his head, a belief in his own invincibility. His tactical brilliance soon forced the Persian king, Darius III, to abandon his own massive army and flee the field at the Battle of Issus. This diagram shows Tyre, a fortified island separated from the mainland by deep water. It should have stopped a land army, but Alexander commanded his men to build a stone bridge through the sea. After 7 months, they breached the walls, massacring 8,000. Following the slaughter at Tyre, resistance in Egypt vanished. They welcomed Alexander as a pharaoh and declared him the son of God. He established Alexandria, a city built to cement his presence in the region and serve as a monument to his growing myth. By erasing natural geographic borders and accepting the worship of entire nations, his ambition finally detached from mortal reality. The final showdown with Persia came at Gaugamela. Facing war chariots and elephants, Alexander precisely angled his infantry lines to absorb the charge, shattering the Persian Empire's defenses. He marched his men into the Persian capital. They looted the immense wealth of Persepolis and burned the royal palaces to the ground, a definitive display of absolute supremacy. He now controlled the largest empire on earth, but he refused to stop. He pushed his army off the edges of their known map, marching into India to challenge King Porus. The warfare here was alien and terrifying. His soldiers faced armored war elephants charging through thick mud and torrential monsoon rains. His own men finally became the immovable object. Traumatized and exhausted, they staged a mutiny and refused to march another step toward the Ganges. The man who crushed the greatest empires of the ancient world was finally stopped by the strict biological limits of human exhaustion. This silver coin shows Alexander's profile blending with mythic symbols. As he adopted Persian dress and customs, he became an isolated autocrat, increasingly distant from his Macedonian veterans. His paranoia grew. He traveled back through his territories, violently purging and executing his own trusted generals on charges of corruption and treason. Then the story abruptly stops. Following a night of heavy drinking in Babylon, the 32-year-old king contracted a violent fever and died in his bed. Without an heir, his physical empire immediately tore itself apart, fracturing into warring states controlled by his generals. But the cultural impact he left behind was permanent. This map illustrates the Hellenistic age. Greek language, philosophy, and art washed over Egypt and Asia, blending with Eastern traditions to reshape global civilization. Alexander reached the immortality he sought, but that ambition left him an isolated autocrat, thousands of miles from the home he had outgrown.